Hello, lovely people, and welcome to 2 Minute Tip Talk, the place for weekly tips and strategies designed to help you be more efficient, productive, and profitable while marketing and building your business online. I am Helena Richardson, web strategist with HRichnetworks. HRichnetworks is a web design and internet marketing company. We are dedicated to helping you improve your digital presence online so that your businesses can find you, so that your customers can find you, rather. So you can learn more about our products and services by visiting our website at www.HRichnetworks.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. So let's get social. Remember to like, comment, and share that. Click on that share button. So for those of you who missed the live broadcast and are watching via replay, let me know by typing in hashtag replay in the comments. You know something, guys? I often say that succeeding in business is all about connections. And those of you who know me know that I love engaging, connecting, and promoting businesses. So, in support of small businesses, I'm opening up my platform right here for you to come and share your business. So, listen, it's very easy. All you need to do is click on that label or the link that's inside of this post labeled Biz Chat and set up an appointment for us to chat. And you know what? I'll share with you all the details so that, you know what? This brings me to the introduction of my special guest today. You know what, guys? My special guest needs no introduction. She's witty, she's beautiful, she's great at commanding her audience, she's a pro at what she does, and she is Mrs. Glynesia Watson Hill.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hi, Glynesia. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I am doing well. I am trying to mute this phone so it won't go off in the middle of this presentation.
That's okay. That's okay. So, you know what? Thank you so much for joining us today. You know what? I really appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule and travel so to be with our audience today. But you know what? Before we get started with the meat of our broadcast, tell us a little bit about what you do and what inspired you. I get so excited when I talk to you. I forget all about the business side of you because I love your personality. So tell us about what you do and what inspired you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Glynesia. I'm with Watson Hill Financial Solutions. I love what I do. So a little bit about me. I am a mom of 5 beautiful children. I homeschool 3 of them. The oldest went off to college. And I am a wife to an awesome, supportive husband. We created this business because I got tired of seeing business owners who started their businesses, love their dreams, go down. Just go to waste because of not knowing how to operate their business well, or not knowing the tax laws, or not knowing strategies that can help them improve their business and to grow. So this is how our business got started, to help others. So we educate a lot of our clients, and that's what we get a lot of feedback on, is that we don't just do your tax returns, we don't just do your accounting, we give you feedback. Look at that. We give you feedback on your business. We educate you on your business, and we give you strategies for growth.
Oh, awesome. Okay. That's okay. You know what?
You never know what you're going to catch with me.
You are so down to earth. You know, most people is like, oh my God, I got to change my hair. You're just like,
let me fix that real quick. Let me
get the lipstick.
That's what my stunt today. Let me fix that.
That's okay. You know what I love most about being with you and sharing with you is that you always make us laugh. And I love that about our side of the business, because, you know, our business can be very boring, right? But laughter is the best medicine for any business, you know, and we do a lot of that. So listen, I'm going to leave the screen and let you share with our audience, because I think this is the time of the year that people really need to know what they need to do with all of this stuff that has gone on in our world today with the taxes and the tax laws, and just have a good time and share with our audience and just let them know some things that can help them with their business. So I'll be back as soon as you get done. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Okay.
right. One
Hi.
minute.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sharing my screen. I use PowerPoint to help me to uh, to stay on track and to make sure I'm sharing what I want to share with you. Again, my name is Glynesia with Watson Hill Financial Solutions, and my presentation today will be 3 things that will vex a small business owner. And I really want to say there's 3 categories because we really could go in really deep on these topics. So I'm going to try, y'all. I am. Try to make this short and try to slow down enough for you to understand exactly what I'm saying. So for all of you who are out there watching, and all of you who will be watching the replay, I just want to know who is in the audience that I am talking to or speaking with. Are you a very new business owner? How long you've been in business, or if you are a LLC, S Corp, or corporation, and what stage of your business that you're in. So if you could share that with us in the chat, that would be great. Also, we do offer questions and answers. We'll try to get to those, and anything that I can't get to, I will try to cover that in a later video, because we do have a segment for Watson Hill where we answer questions and post videos for you. Okay, so our first topic today, and we say first tip, but the first area that we're going to talk about is failure to initiate tax plan. And this is one of the areas that I am really passionate about, because this is the area that helps you to really get your business nice and tight and really plan for a direction. Like, you're going to hone in and target where you want this business to go to meet the overall objective of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So when you got into business, you are very good at what it is that you do, right? Whatever product you sell, whatever service that you sell, you're very good at that area. This area has been known to cause a lot of frustration for a lot of people. It also pains everyone, and it takes up a little bit of time to do administrative and paperwork. And then I find that some people, instead of asking a professional about, like myself, about what it is that their business need to do, they will try to research and figure out. Then let me make this clear, and I'm not trying to put fear on anybody. It's just, we're just good at what we do, and you always should be reaching out to your professional. You are talking about the IRS system that has over 70,000 laws and regulations or rulings for personal income taxes as well as business income taxes. So this is one of the areas, if you're not familiar with it, you would like to reach out to a tax professional to help you, because all of these 3 concepts that we're going to come over, that I'm going to discuss today, are going to intertwine and overlap somehow. But I figured I will break this down for you. So if you want me to go extensively into it, we can later. So do you know how the new tax laws affect you? So if you have not known what is happening, I don't know where you've been on the planet Earth, but we went through a series of tax law changes. The first one happened with President Donald Trump, or ex-President Donald Trump, when he was in the office. He did an overhaul over all of the tax laws, which was so much, y'all, so much tax law changes. So now we have a new President Biden, who is in the office, who is planning to make some tax updates, which you're going to find rolling out here soon. That's going to be making some changes. So as of this year, you're still under a little bit of the old tax law, under the tax laws for the Trump administration. But also understand that when they sent out stimulus, we had 2 waves of stimulus that had already came out. We got one last year with the CARES Act in March. Then we have the second wave that came out as of December. And all of these things house Tax laws, y'all, housed incentives, housed deductions. For instance, that you would have got took advantage of my small business owner. You should have taken advantage of the PPP, the Payroll Protection Program. The EIDL also came out to help with small business owners. The employee retention credit was another one that you should have taken advantage of. But these, you could not take advantage of it if you had the PPP. And they all had their rules and regulations on how you were supposed to be in compliance with these. And if you want me to go in details on this at a later time, we can. Unfortunately, for the time constraint I have with the video, I will not be going over in detail what these are, but these are some of the things that you should know how these are affecting you, because with these laws, you had to be stringent. I mean, like ridiculous with your accounting, in your record keeping, which we're going to discuss a little bit later. You had to be meticulous to details with these information, because it depended on, like, if you use any of those credits or deductions for exactly for what they were, some of these things would be deducted. And if you did not use them for what they were, then if you did not use them for what they were, then they were taxable income to you. Okay, so some of the things that you should know: if failure to tax plan, and when we talk about tax planning, I know I should back up a little bit. What is tax planning? You can tell I'm passionate about this, y'all. Okay, so tax planning is where we take a look at your entire picture. Okay, so some of you have businesses and you probably say, yeah, well, what does that have to do with me? If you have an LLC, an S corp, or a partnership, the LLC and the S corp had K1s that passed through into your personal tax return, which would have showed up inside of the 1040. And then the Schedule C was also a part of the 1040. So they all ran into that area to be taxed at your marginal or effective tax rate. I also have another video on telling you how to determine that, the marginal and effective tax rate, so you know exactly where you are and how you're being taxed. But that's how these affected you, based on the structure. They go right into that area. So as we take a look at your big picture, we're not only looking at your personal income. A lot of things came into effect with that. Was if you're married, filing jointly, if you're taking itemized deduction, if you're taking a standard deduction, and on the LLC and the S corp and the corporation, they had another deduction, y'all. How did this affect you? The qualified business deduction, the QBI, which took 20% of that's supposed to be your taxable income and made it a deduction to you. So if you're not knowing how the tax laws are affecting you, it's the time to talk to a professional, accountant, CPA, a tax preparer, so you know how to break down these financial statements, turn it in, and making sure that you have meticulous tracking systems to figure out how this works. Not knowing incentives, not knowing the new tax breaks or changes, like some of the tax law changes we change from year to year, like your standard deduction rates go up for married filing jointly, married filing separately, head of household and single. So all of these deductions changed a little bit. And then from the transition to the Trump tax administration, we did not have to do, claiming of your dependent. We did not have to do the exemptions amount. This time when you're claiming your dependents, we're talking about child tax credit, earned income credit, and additional child tax credit. So you want to be in the know when it comes down to your taxes and how they affect you. So I cannot stress this enough. Underreporting income has been affecting certain people. Certain businesses, because when you're underreporting, some things that it does affect, like if you're trying to go and purchase a house, let's say you're a Schedule C, you're trying to purchase a house and you did not keep good records, so you're estimating, you miss out on the opportunity to qualify for more, or to purchase some more, to expand for more, because we don't know. Over-reported income, we still have people who are guesstimating, or because they didn't keep meticulous records, you are putting down, I estimate this is how much income that I have. And guess what? The more income that you are reporting on, that's more taxes that you'll be paying, because you have to show how did I come up with this income, and you need to be showing where my expenses went to. Underpayment of taxes, okay? So underpayment of taxes may cause you to pay penalties and interest for underpayment of taxes, and that will lead us over here to the self-employment taxes that you will see on the board. Failure to file on time and knowing when things are due. That's the one that I get a lot, is I don't know when things are due. I don't know when my business taxes are due, because if we have corporate tax tax preparation to do, or corporate tax returns to do, they are doing a different date than the individual taxes. And the misclassification of employee and contractors can lead, did you know, if you misclassify a contractor as an employee, the worst thing you did is you just paid taxes on somebody that was literally a contractor. But to classify a contractor as an employee could lead to tax fraud. Like this is one of the areas that the IRS frequently scrutinize, as well as those deductions that people are trying to carry on their tax returns. And not being in the know, you miss a lot of deductions. You leave money on the table. And if you overdo everything, you put yourself in a higher bracket, which you pay more in taxes, because you need to talk to a professional. One of the things that we're having issues with is that you're not telling us everything. So I think a lot of you who look at us be like, oh man, if I tell them everything, they're going to do the worst for me. I understand. We as your professional is working for you. So we want to strategize and put you in the best possible position to capitalize, keeping all of your dollars in your hands, then give it out. We want you to pay only what's necessary and only what's required to the federal, local, and state governments. Not more. A good professional, that's their goal. Their goal is to position you, to help you create, to help you to preserve, and to help you to keep your wealth for however long you want to, for the dreams to come, for whatever your end goal is. Your end goal. That's another thing that we should talk about, but that's another thing. It's like exiting your business. How will you do that? That's one of the things we should be talking about in your tax planning. So a lot of times, if you notice on the screen, so I want to tell you, if you notice the questions on the screen, these questions are just for you to be thinking about, okay, what next? Let me think about this. Do I know what I'm missing? What taxes is my business responsible for? So if you are LLC, corporation, S Corp, partnership, you need to know what taxes your business is responsible for. Are you responsible for income taxes? Now, the corporation is responsible for income taxes. It pays its own separate income taxes when it files its tax returns. Remember that the S Corp corporation, the LLC, and the S Corp, and the LLC and the partnerships are K1s. They pass through to your main tax return, where you'll be paying income taxes there. With the self-employment taxes, that comes with the LLC. Those are taxes that you're responsible for. Estimated taxes. You need to know, should I be paying estimated taxes? And what it is you should be paying 100% of last year's taxes. If you were in business, if you were not in businesses, that does not apply to you. 90% of current year's taxes, or if you just didn't know, and this also applies to what income range that affects your tax return. So this is another reason why tax plan is important, because you're talking about income range. Did I phase out, or am I phasing into a certain thing? So that's a new strategy that we're talking about. So you need to know. So if you're making a certain amount of money that's over these things, we're talking about 110% of the taxes due, which I like to be demonstrative. I don't have that time today. Property taxes, business personal property, sales taxes, excise taxes, payroll taxes, state income taxes. And remember, we have that payroll tax deferment program where you were able to defer some of the payroll taxes until another time. Costly mistakes. Now, I would like to understand, are you watching this live? If you're currently on, or you are watching it later, tell me, have you made any costly mistakes and how they affected you? Because A lot of the main things are you misclassifying your business transactions. And one of the things that had occurred earlier with another client is like when you are purchasing vehicles, you guys, and you're saying that this is used for my business and my personal, but the business is paying the cost of a vehicle and you're not really using it as much, and it's not even in the business name, then don't put it in your accounting software that this is in fact, an asset that is owned by the company and everything, because this is a bona fide business draw. It is not a loan that is owned to the business. So mixing, and then that's bringing me to my next one. Mixing personal and business transactions. There is, commingling is a no-go. No, no, no. Set up a business account separate from your personal, and then in your accounting software, make sure that you are properly classifying your expenditures, your meals, because I think a lot of people don't understand how the meals work. Like, just because you go out and eat lunch, that doesn't make it a business deduction for meals. Meals have to be is really set up to say, hey, we're going to sit here. We're talking about business before and after with the intention of making income, you guys. That's the whole point of this. It's not because I go out to eat, I can take off those. You have to tell us on the receipt. You're supposed to say where you've been, what y'all you discussed, who was it, the time frame. It's like when I say meticulous details, you should be having meticulous details about your meal expenditures, and that's not the same as providing lunches for your employees or your staff working on your business office or space. That's totally different things. So this is one of the things that we're talking about, is being able to maximize those deductions. If you're classifying transactions inside of the accounting software, then it's going to affect you in other areas. And you're going to see on the next slide when we're talking about record keeping. Not knowing the value of items. So some things, when we have to depreciate, we need to know the value of the items. When you're doing contributions to charity, you need to know the value of the items. The value of the items, when you're putting it in, when you're buying furniture or equipment for your business, those start to depreciate, or some items you might have that appreciate. You want to know the value of the items, because that's your basis inside of that items. And it helps you to know these things, especially if you're about to get rid of these properties. So you need to know these things. Again, no more guesstimation. We need to know what's happening. Not knowing due dates. I cannot stress this enough. If you're not knowing due dates, you're actually giving up money that is unnecessary. So knowing the due dates of when payroll is due, when estimated taxes due, when sales and use taxes are due, when your income taxes are due. If you got more than one income tax you have to file, if you got more than one business, knowing when they are due. So what are these mistakes costing you? Probably your sanity. You're pulling your hair because your main focus was to focus on your business. It was to generate income. It was supposed to set you up for life. It's supposed to make you happy, bring your family into it, or just do something mighty for the community, whatever you decided to do. So you've lost a bit of your sanity. Financial resources. You're giving up more money because you got to pay penalties and interest, or because you underestimated or you overestimated income. You're giving up. You're giving up. You're giving up resources there. Time. It takes you a lot of time. You're frustrated. You're losing time, energy. It's becoming taxing on your body, your health, your employees, your staff, and everything starts to lack. Resources, and I cannot say it, penalties, fees, and interest enough. Whatever your industry is and whatever you are working in, whatever their penalties are, wherever that is. Now, record keeping. What systems or tools are you using to manage your records? And the reason I say that is because I know a lot of you use spreadsheets, and I have no issues with the spreadsheets. But when it comes down to someone who's using an S Corp and they're given spreadsheets, and the spreadsheets cannot tell me your balance sheet balance, or if you're miscalculating stuff, I kind of need to see that. We need to see in details, because part of our job is to, as an accountant, not a tax preparer, let me tell you, that's two different things, is to verify your spent expenditures, to validate what you have done. As a tax preparer, when you turn in your summary, that's what it is, and you hope that you be right, because as we filing the tax records and you're filing your tax returns and they're not correct, then it's based on the information that you provided. So we're only as good as you make us. And then during the season, sometimes it's not easily feasible to see those errors. So we get excited when we can kind of say, hey, you might want to take a look at this, or can you explain in more detail to provide clarity on how you came up with certain numbers? Do you know how long to keep your business records? Now, some of that depends on the industry. It depends on your state. It depends on a bunch of different things. So 3 years, I believe, is for taxes. And then if you've been audited, is as long as is necessary. So it could be upwards of 10 years or more, however, for tax records to be kept. Are you getting proper documentation for transactions made throughout the year? Now, this is very important because it affects your financial statements. I get this a lot when I'm doing taxes. I have my business. Okay, can I get your profit and loss? Oh, that's easy. I'll just take these totals, put it inside the profit and loss, because you looked at the profit and loss format and then you turned it in. Okay, so the profit and loss, in case you did not know, is the same thing as the income statement. Well, this is why it does doing that causes you a disservice, because putting in transactions help you to see your business overall health. It helps you to see if I can expand. Do I need to hold? Should I talk to my marketing team to focus on this because we sold this? It tells us, can you pay your bills on time? Oh, I cannot pay my bills on time. I'm struggling here. It helps when you have companies who buy accounts receivables to help you get an edge or in your to get a leg up, especially in this time where COVID-19 and the pandemic has caused some shifts in our income. So you would want to know that a profit and loss statement or income statement is always requested, especially if you are applying for any of those credits and stuff that are available to you. These things are need to be known. Now, the balance sheet, you can put totals into a profit and loss statement, but if you don't have that balance sheet, or some of y'all, I don't think you understand, for an S corporations, y'all have to fill out a balance sheet, especially if you make over a certain amount of income. And why does that matter? Because it affects the basis of your company. All of these transactions are reporting. If you're putting totals into a profit and loss statement, you're not establishing the basis. And the basis says, what is a business? What is my ownership? What did I pay to what is my prospective share of the business worth? How much and it's usually the cost of how you got started. So, and there's some transactions that will cause the basis to lower, depending upon what transactions has taken place. So when you're trying to sell the business, one of the things they want to know is the value of your ownership and the value of your business. So this is important for business valuation. Your balance sheet tells us about the assets, the liabilities, and what the business actually works, what kind of health this company is in. Your cash flow statements tells us how much money you're bringing in each month, and they're monitored. All these statements, you can monitor them each month, by the quarter, or by the year, but it tells us so much. So if you're going to not do this totally incorrectly, you miss out on a lot of opportunities available to you. So some of your headaches could be offset because there could have been a person to give you strategy based on the information provided. The more accurate you are, the more accurate the plans to help get you out of a certain space would work. So if you had to hold for a little bit, like you might want to stop right there, don't spend enough, hold for a little bit, let this area grow and then move. It gives you that type of direction. So if this is not something that you're ready to get into yourself, then reach out to a professional to get it done. I am not going to be saying I have major health issues and I need a surgeon and I'm going to try to take a scalpel and do the work myself. I know nothing about it. I'm going to pass out. It's going to hurt. So make sure you're classifying Oh yeah, donations, loans. Make sure you know when your invoice, because some of the stuff that we have to do with some of uh, our clients is we have to help them backtrack and create um, their accounting from where it should have been. And when you don't do it in that season, it's very hard to track things when you don't have information, because let me tell you, the headache becomes really real. You got to go to, and you better hope you're some, for example, you better hope somebody like Home Depot, you'll be able to get research receipts in your email, because then you can pull that. Mal IQ, you'll be able to go back and pull records. You got to classify those miles. Where did you go? Why were you there? You got to remap and figure out, okay, I remember this. You got to go back through your calendar, figure out that type of stuff. Like, okay, I've been here. Yeah, we talked about something here. My employees, I kept meticulous notes on them, when they came in, when they were sick, this, that, and other, however it needs to be. You should be having records on that, when they were paid, if they were not paid. And you know what? Keeping those records help keep fraud retention down in your business, so you can see where your money is going. Like QuickBooks have this great feature called the audit feature to track, to keep, you know where every dime is going. So these are the most important things. There's a reason why you want to do it, because you're leaving a lot on the table. And it distinctly, even if this was a hobby, you still should be paying attention to it. But if to run a business, realize that a business is its own entity, and your fiduciary responsibility is to do the best possible thing for me and my business, so that I can do the best, get the best possible results. I want to make sure that I made the right decision. I spoke to the right person. I know my pain points. I know my limits. I know my strengths. And that's what they also, these financial statements does. It gives you the overall wellness of your business. If it's sick, if it needs help, if it's doing great, it's letting us know all of that. Well, that is the end of my presentation. I'm taking a look over here to see if there's anything else that I would like to cover. And if you have questions, I look forward to hearing from you. If we cannot cover them, I will gladly do a video to answer some of those questions. But thank you all for your time. Oh, you can also connect with us at www.watsonhill.net. On Facebook, we on Watson Hill Financial Solutions. Instagram at Watson Hill FS.
Thank you so much, Glynesia, for sharing that information. And guys, we know that it can be, it's a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? It really is a lot of information. But guess what? It will save you. It will definitely save you, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry for going over. I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. Because I mean, I know, like for taxes and some other entities, it takes a while. So it's not a problem. The thing is for us to get the information so that we can do what it is that we need to do. The What's important, some things that you mentioned about us having our ducks in order, right? You know, as a small business, we really do realize that we do need to get those professionals in house. You know, I know we try to save money, right? But we missing out, like you said in your introduction, that there's so many things that we miss out on, those mistakes that we make, you know, right? The mistakes that we make, um, the failures, to get the right amount of money that we should get, the record keeping. You know, I learned a long time ago to get someone to take care of my bookkeeping, my taxes, and to get a lawyer, and to help with my admin stuff. Just so many different areas where my business needed help. I had to move things around to make it work, and it's important. So I really appreciate your time, Glynesia, for coming in. Guys, Glynesia's information is scrolling there on the screen. Remember, you can use the comments to ask questions, and please connect with her directly. She has a wealth of information. You may not like some of the things that she's telling you. And, I think that's why a lot of folks run from guys like you. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to keep as much money in as we can. But that's what you're doing for us. You're trying to help us keep as much money in as we can as well.
Absolutely. I just want to say, like, at PPP, there was still 160, I think, million or something still on the table because people were missing deadlines. They didn't know that it was still available. They didn't know if I was a self-employed person, a contractor, could I take advantage of it? They were missing out on these opportunities. Those deadlines is very important. Like, ask questions. I will say,
Right.
please ask questions to someone like me, because someone else in a business might be having the same issues. But if you ask that question, I've answered both of your questions. So don't be afraid, because someone else is probably suffering from the same thing.
That's right. That's right. So hold tight, Glynesia. I'll be with you in a second. Let me close out my audience, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
having me.
So, guys, wasn't that great? That was some great information. And you know what? As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to getting to know you better. You can also visit our website at www.HRichnetworks.com. And remember, join us right here every Tuesday live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same tech time, same tech channel. I'm signing off from now, but you know what? I'll see you guys soon. Take care.